Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are doing something a little different today. We're starting a new game on the channel. I know, I keep trying to cut games that we're doing, but I keep adding them instead. And that kind of gave away what game we're doing. Yes, we're doing Pillars of Eternity, mainly because the new game, Avowed, which is set in the same setting, but is going to be played more of a, more on a third-person, well, it is a first-person ARPG is how it's going to be played for Avowed. But because that game's coming out, from Obsidian, I decided to go back, play Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2 for y'all. I have not actually finished both games. I've played all of Act 1 of Pillars of Eternity, and then some of Act 2, and then kind of got distracted with life. So, we're just gonna get to go through this journey together now. I almost want to just do story time so we can really just enjoy the story and get through both games. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do story time. Kind of just enjoy the game. Kind of already have a character sort of in mind, but we'll see what I decide to do. Because I think I'm going to kind of build the same character I was doing in my personal gameplay.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
And so this kind of sets us up in the story. The game plays a lot like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and the original Icewind Dale game, and the old Icewind Dale games, and Planescape, so the old Infinity based D&D video games, right? And it plays a lot like that, and so the narrative is going to be delivered in the same fashion. As you see, we get little storyboard things, so if you remember when we played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, that's kind of what we got. And so, so we're going to go, yeah, we're going to meet the male. We are actually going to play a godlike, I think. Yeah, we're going to be a godlike. And that's going to give us a sub-race, I think. Yes. We'll stick with death. I just, go with death. I like the idea of playing a death godlike. I think the interesting part is that we can still have a different body type. We'll go with human. with Paladin. I'm trying to remember what I was last time. I think I was a Darkazi. The oldest known Paladin order in the world, the Darkazi Paladini were founded as the guards of the Darkazi Palace in the Grand Valia over 2,000 years ago. Since the shattering of Grand Valia, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. I think that's right. No, I was a chanter last time, wasn't I? I'm trying to think on my original gameplay what I did. No. That was too complicated. Nope. You know what? We'll go simple anyways. We'll go fighter. We'll keep it simple for this one. Yeah, we'll keep it simple. But we'll keep the death god like, so that way we can be something unique in that regard. But we'll go simple with the class, right? So we're not overcomplicating things. Let's see, Discipline Barrage. The fighter intensely focuses on his or her training, significantly raising accuracy for a short amount of time, or shoves an enemy with enormous force, knocking them prone and causing additional damage. And we can do this twice per encounter, but we can only do this once per encounter. Plus 20 accuracy for 15 seconds. Prone for 5. Accuracy versus fortitude. So this only really lasts 10 seconds, where this lasts 15. Even with it only for 1. But it about evens out with the full attack, adding damage as well. Oh. Let's do knockdown. Yeah. And then kind of follow our recommendeds here first. And then we'll keep it simple from there. To resolve. Get a free point at inlet, maybe. Or we could keep it simple and go with the deer. Let's do Old Valia. Once the crown jewel, and so that's where we're going to be from, which will decide an extra point that we get. Actually, we could bump our might more. That makes sense, actually. Actually, Constitution and Resolve are the ones that are highly recommended, interestingly enough. Not our might. Might's recommended, but not highly. So Constitution or Resolve, actually. Actually, it makes sense to bump our Constitution. Get that extra bit of health, maybe. resolve, there's a couple options. We can do a deer or X a middle. Let's do Constitution. Rautai, dominated by the Amoa nation of Rautai. The Gulf itself is host to a number of nations, most of them Amoa, Orlan, or Dwarven. Though these countries are relatively young, they are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the East. The Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them, though the entire coast is often pummeled by violent storms. Let me go back and see some things real quick here. Does it say where death lights are, or where God lights are usually from? I bet you it does, because that might be something I want to lean into. It does not, interestingly enough. We won't be able to wear a helmet though because of our head shape. Just a heads up on that. Ha, heads up. Yeah, we'll go with what we've picked so far. I think I want athletics and lore. Or if we can double up on athletics, that would be cool. We cannot. Okay. Mercenary. Blade in battle is your way of life. You solve your problems by pulling out your weapon and applying force. Alright. And we're going to try to match the little portrait a little better. I always do this one or this one, and then it's like, no, the portrait kind of looks more like that one, in my opinion. Definitely don't look like that one. Unless we can find a better portrait. Ooh. Yeah. We could. Actually, the previous portrait could go for either one of these, but you just wouldn't see the horns very well. But I do like that is an option. I don't know why that's the primary color. Oh, weird. Let's make it kind of match mine. Yeah. Now we're talking.
Hey there.
Now I am the leader of the group.
Yeah! Keeping quiet.
Eh?
I'll lead the way. Attack!
Silence surrounds me.
Yeah? Watch and learn.
Bring them down! Yes.
You better run! I'll go on ahead.
What is it?
Yeah, we'll use Sinister. Kind of like it. And what should we call our death godlike? Huh. That's gonna be the rough one, huh? Because I'm not as used to this setting. Let's do... Yeah, we'll do... Yeah, I think I like that name. Yeah. Let's do it. Yes, we are ready. The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you are planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods towards a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, of course. In which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker. But see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
He nods in your direction. Let's see. Well, first off, Odima looks over his shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfle, who carries an old sun-bleached bow, which he said all that to. He nods in our direction. Sparfle nods and slides the worn bow over his shoulder. Where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
What are those ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
He adds with a wink. Who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Odima shrugs. Is it dangerous out here?
Not if you hurry about your business, and not if the weather holds up.
There is concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate. What kind of weather do they get up here?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beowick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never care to.
What are these huge rocks coming up out of the ground?
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories.
Odima frowns.
It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
I'll go see about those berries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's nights sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time.
He needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
Odima chuckles and shakes his head. He looks at you. He casts a sidelong glance at her.
Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Odima's small grin recedes beneath his mustache, and he is stern once more. Alright. So...
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Alright, let's go find us some spring berries so we don't die. Minor regeneration. Let's see. Yep.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
Kind of look around. Make sure we're ready to head out before we do.
I'll see it done.
I don't think any of us can see it done. Okay, so this is how we do some of our actions. That's how we properly pause. That's how we do the mini-map. Or the map, I should say. Let's see. Okay, character sheet. Switch character. Here we go. What is she? She's also a fighter. Okay. Ah, yep, here we go. Now I know how to switch characters. Alright. Let's see what this guy was yelling about. You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He shakes his head and laughs when he notices you. He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
He looks at his wagon and grins ruefully. With an outlook like that, I'm sure you'll do well. We'll see, I suppose, but I'm just trying to do right by my family. As you can see, we're setting up our disposition reputation now. So, in this game, based on responses you give, that kind of sets up the type of character you're creating throughout the game. And so, that the more and more towards a reputation that you have, you sort of get locked in and out of responses. And you'll see that as the game goes on.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Tell me about the Adir Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Ceres and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire, a fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
He gives you a lopsided grin and nods at the other scattered caravanners. Why'd you move all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Raid Ceres?
He laughs.
My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
He shrugs. Deerwood is a former deer colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. And as much as I admire the Red Sarens' work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. That's high-minded of you. A blush rises from under his collar. Not at all, just doing my part. Let's see what you've got. Alright, so now we can use the store. As you see, he's got a few things. Right now we're kind of just going to stick with not getting anything off the top right now. You can also retrain your character. So if we decide, hey, we don't like what we've been doing with the character, we can do that. It's also at shops that you can buy, like certain areas, certain shops, depending where you are. You can buy recruits, so you can get more people to work for you. But right now, we're not worried about all that. So yeah, this is telling us about what I was telling y'all earlier. Orland's Cradle. And actually, before I forget, we should probably... Yep, inventory. We should probably put this on, I think, depending on what's better. Nope, actually, no. No. We are better off with what we've got. Well, that was a very quick and easy discovery of, nope, we're actually doing pretty well starting off. Alright, so party selection, yeah, this is telling us L1, R1 to go back and forth, or click both to control both. Smarfell.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Thank you. Admits work. Not what we're looking for, but hey, good to get these ingredients.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Oh, hello. Our first combat. So, he's going to tell us a little bit about combat. I'm just going to basically move order and combat the reticule. So this is real time with pause, essentially. In combat, the reticule is used to control your character. It is brought up automatically. Move it with the L and give characters in order by pressing X. Outside combat, the reticule is brought up by pressing triangle. It's useful for traversing longer distances, yeah, so if we wanted to just auto-walk somewhere, we can do that. Alright. So, not worry about doing anything impressive right now. There's no reason. Well, okay, let's knock it down. And then we'll have her. Just have her beat it up for this round. And then once I unpause, basically 6 seconds will go by, it will auto-pause because I've set it to auto-pause every 6 seconds, which is a round. And so that'll give us a chance to kind of keep yeah. So per encounter and per rest, so certain abilities are per encounter, some are per rest. We just got to keep track of that so we don't lose track of our abilities.
This is it.
Look like you've seen your share of action. What did you do before you came out here? Okay, and this is a little... We get to decide a little bit here what we did. This is more just flavor for our character and role-playing. What should we be? Should we be a war veteran? Should we just be a straight-up mercenary? I think we went with mercenary. So, we're gonna go with mercenary. I was a blade for hire. Yeah? How is it you happen to come here? I've never been much good at anything else, but I need to go where there's work that pays. You do what you can to survive. What else can someone be expected to do? Caliska breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Redrick's offer makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You here to settle like the rest of the lot? It's a hard offer to pass up. You won't find many offers like it in these parts, believe me. Got some big plan in store. So yeah, so the lord of this area has basically been like, hey, anybody who comes over here, land. And you get land. And so that's kind of been the promise of why this caravan is moving through, with the hopes of finding somewhere to settle, right? I'm going to settle here and start a new life. Well, who knows? Redrick pays well enough, maybe we end up neighbors. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Odima will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. Why are you here? Caliska sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried. But that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out. And that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Examinil. But I'd do anything for her. She's a much better woman than me. So I'm here, and we'll see. Odima, I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive a route this way, but he's doing it for me. Tell me about yourself. I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Rautai and another in Adir. My sister in Gilded Vale. She's the only real home buddy. What can you tell me about Deerwood? I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adir Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. But been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. Alright, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfell's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like when he feels like it. We should check up on him first, slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water. Alright, we are out of time. But we'll be back next time with more of this and our chance to find water. But I hope you enjoy a little change of pace. We're kind of going into some more CRPG sort of routes. I do love me a good isometrical CRPG that's inspired by Baldur's Gate. So this is kind of right up my alley. And I'm kind of excited to play through this and to play Avowed when it comes out. So I guess I'll see you all next time. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you really like our content, check out the Patreon, which is linked down below, where you can watch our content before it's released publicly on YouTube. Also, be sure to check out our Discord, also linked down below, so become part of our community. And I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye.